All right, Aries, welcome to your weekly horoscope for January 19th through the 25th. My name is Athen, and this is, of course, for Sidereal Astrology. If you'd like more information on that, or if you're new to this type of astrology, I recommend you check the description down below because your sign might be different. All right, so with this week, Aries, we've got a lot of activity still involved with the whole Pluto-Uranus nodal square, T-square that's been going on. Now this week it has more to do with the South Node because on Monday all the way through Wednesday we've got the South Node conjuncting up to Uranus. So the South Node, first of all, is about the past, and it's about letting go. It's about moving out from the old energies and then into the new energies of the North Node. And like I said in the last weekly, the North Node is about the self-improvement, and your sixth house matters. But this week is going to be important that we release any old notions, because the nodes have to do with consciousness and notions about things. So some old notions relating to spirituality, because this is happening in your 12th house. Anything relating to behind the scenes activities, old notions about, I don't know, something spiritual, anything behind the scenes, looking past of the veils of life. This is what the 12th house represents, and it's going to be slightly different for all of you. But in general, it just has something to do with letting go of some sort of idea about what you require for your freedom in regards to you to have a simple life. Maybe that is for a lot of you a sort of notion of needing a simple life to enjoy yourself or something of this nature. Well, although that might be the case, there's some old karma, there's some old energies from past lives and stuff here working that need to be released during this time. So release any old ideas of freedom, any old ideas around spirituality or presence or simplicity. And you'll find that that's allowing you to then move forward in that North Node direction very easily. And like I said, this is very important for the first half of the week. Now on Monday as well, we also have Mars conjuncting up to Neptune, and I'm getting a strong sense of just taking it really easy on Monday with balance. There's this definite balancing act needing to take place too, which I'll talk about with Venus and Jupiter. But it's about taking action but going with the flow, especially with this Mars conjunct Neptune. And it's happening in your 11th house. So anything group related, community related, anything you're doing to give back to society in some way, could also have to do with technology as well. But any of those types of 11th house activities, it's about just going with the flow and perhaps tapping into the more selfless aspect of yourself and just giving in that department. So see where you can give more in terms of your community or the global sort of level. And this could be connecting to your work as well, because this week is highly emphasized for your work, which I'll talk about with the new moon. Now also on Monday, like I said, this balancing act with all this presence, surrendering, letting go, and just kind of going with the flow. There's also this wanting to indulge a little bit. We've got Venus opposite Jupiter. So this can be a time of having that indulgence if it's grounded. It's involving your 10th and your 4th house. So you don't want to get too caught up into the indulgences at work. You don't want to get too caught up into the indulgences at home or the domestic side of life or with your family. You want to bring those two together this week, especially around Monday. And you can definitely enjoy these aspects of your life when there's that nice balance, when it's nice and grounded, and you're not necessarily maybe just completely taking the day off and not doing anything and just staying at home. It's not really the energy for this. You want to make sure that, if it is a work day, it would be a good day to go to work, obviously, but then to have that nice balance between those two areas of your life. Maybe not working too hard, moving kind of slowly, as an example. Now on Tuesday, we've got the new moon taking place in that 10th house in Capricorn. So the whole emphasis this week, especially the first half, has to do with your 10th house, with your work and your career, like I was mentioning, or anything you're doing on the public level. So there's a new beginning taking place here with that new moon, and it's about stepping into a new level of discipline and mastery with your 10th house. And I have a feeling with all these other aspects too, it has something to do with stepping into that much more mature role and taking things a little bit more disciplined in that area. And you'll find that when you do that, when you step into that power, there's a lot of insights coming to you right now in terms of some new beginnings. And so you want to sit with the energies this week. The energies are low. It's the new moon phase. And around Tuesday, you really want to sit with them, because it's not really a time of action as much as it's a time of just receiving and really reflecting on what kind of new beginnings do you want to see in that 10th house sector. Then as the moon starts to fill up later on in the week, that's the time of starting to implement them. But we won't know what to implement if we don't have a clarity in terms of what we want in that department. And that's the time early this week to really think about what it is that you want, especially in the long term, because we are talking about Capricorn here in that 10th house with your career and anything public related. Now on Wednesday, we have Mercury going retrograde in that 10th house. So there's already this reflection, and you want to continue to sort of reflect as Mercury is going retrograde into February of that 10th house. Now you'll still be able to implement. Mercury retrograde is often talked about a time when not to do things, but it's not like that at all. It's just that you want to treat it as a learning experience. So while you might be reflecting early in the week, allow yourself to start to put energy into that 10th house. Just do it in a way where you're treating it as a learning experience. You don't want to dig yourself, too deep of a hole, because obviously when we're learning something, we want to take baby steps and just kind of slowly implement and allow ourselves to make some mistakes in the process. That's how we treat a Mercury retrograde, and there's a tremendous amount to be learned. And this is all taking place, like I said, in that 10th house. Now on Thursday, we've got Venus then going into that 11th house, and this is where things start to shift, I think, towards the end of the week and into Saturday, the whole weekend time period, of really enjoying the deeper aspects of what you're doing in your work, because the 11th house has to do with the underlying enjoyment of your work and what fruits and benefits your work gives you. So pay attention to that, but enjoy it nonetheless, because while you're thinking about it, there's a tremendous amount of enjoyment to enjoy the simple things with your work, and also perhaps some of you bringing in some finances relating to work as well, or thinking about how you can bring in some more finances, but enjoying that whole process. So while Venus is going to be in there all the way through February, enjoy it. Enjoy what your work is essentially giving you in your life, whether it's financial or on a deeper level. Now the last aspect of the week, we've got the Sun sextiling up to Saturn, and this is going to be going on through Friday and kind of leading up into the weekend. So this is an easy aspect with the discipline energies, and this is where I think, again, just like last week, around this Thursday, Friday period, we start to really feel that flow. And there is going to be an opportunity to really start to implement these things in that career sort of level. And it can flow very smoothly. With Saturn on your side, with this easy aspect, it can feel very smooth, and you can actually accomplish quite a bit. So like I said, as the week starts to build, slowly put that energy more and more into it. All right, Aries, well, I hope you have a great week. I want to thank you all for watching and subscribing and liking the videos. It's very much appreciated, and I'll see you next week. Take care.